Okay, we're going to call our meeting for June 3rd to order. The notice requirements provided for in the Open Publics Meeting Act have been satisfied. Notice this meeting was properly given in the new scheduled meetings of the Spotswood Borough Council on January 1st, 2015. The new schedule was transmitted to the Home News Tribune and Sentinel, filed with the Clerk of the Borough of Spotswood, and posted in the municipal building located at 77 Summerhill Road, Spotswood, New Jersey. We'll rise for a salute to the flag and a moment of silence. During our moment of silence, if you would keep in your thoughts the state trooper that we lost, Anthony Raspa. Keep him and his family in your thoughts. It was a tragedy this week. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Councilman Seeley?
Here.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Here.
Councilman Ritchie?
Here.
Council President Stolen?
Here.
Mayor Policino?
President. Okay, we're going to go into a closed session.
Yes, I'll read the closed session resolution. Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231 PL 1975 permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, now therefore be it resolved by the Borough of Spotswood, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey as follows. 1, the public shall be excluded from discussion of any action upon the hereinafter specified subject matters. 2, the general nature of the subject matter to be discussed is as follows. Personnel. 3, it is anticipated at this time the above stated subject matter shall be made public when confidentiality is no longer required. This resolution shall take effect immediately.
Make a motion we pass the resolution.
Second.
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Council President Stolen?
Yes. If I could just ask everyone to step outside, hopefully it won't take too long and we'll be able to come back in. Okay, we're going to call our meeting back to order. Apologize for the time. As we said, this was going to be a difficult decision, and we had to have some discussion about it. At this point, the meeting is open to the public again, and I'll entertain a motion to make a nomination for a replacement council member for Frank Lasacco.
Make a motion that we nominate for the open seat.
And we need the name.
Sorry, Leo Service.
Okay.
Didn't hear him.
Leo Service.
Leo Service.
I have a second?
Second.
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
With all due respect, Leo, there were many candidates here that were more qualified. No.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Council President Stolen?
Yes.
Then the candidate selected by council is Leo Service, and at this time, I will swear him in, and he may come up and sit on the dais. I, Leo Service,
I, Leo Service,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the
to
same
the same
and the governments established
and the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of
and perform all the duties of
office of Councilman at Large
office of Councilman at Large
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Good luck.
Good luck.
And just a note to Andrew, Ed, Brian, Michael, thank you for coming out. It was a very difficult decision. You're doing a lot of great things in the community. We want you to stay involved. Hopefully, we'll see you again. Leo, where you are there, unfortunately, this is like a 6-month appointment.
Right.
We were informed that actually after the election, the swearing in is the meeting immediately after the election. We wish you all the best of luck with that. But that's what happens. We'll have an election in November. Leo, do you want to take a moment and say anything?
I'd like to thank everybody, and I hope I do the job that everybody expects.
Thank you. I know you're...
President?
Yes.
Excuse me 1 minute. I'd like to just announce that petition packets will be ready after the 4th of July holiday for anyone that would like to run in the November election.
Thank you, Pat. Okay. Okay. We can proceed with our regular meeting at this point?
We have a set of minutes for May 18th.
Make a motion, remove the minutes?
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have an ordinance on second reading. This is the public hearing for ordinance 06-2015. Ordinance 06-215 was posted in a municipal building on May 19, 2015, and advertised in full in the Home News Tribune on May 21st. Public hearing was set for June 3rd, 2015. An ordinance of the Borough of Spotswood, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 193, Trees and Shrubs by adding Article 4, Tree Fund, and by amending Chapter 91, Fees, adding Article 7, Tree Fund.
I need a motion for openness to a public hearing.
Motion to open the public hearing?
Second.
Council President Stolen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Councilman Service?
Yes.
This ordinance is part of our master plan review, and it imposes a fund on developers. If they do a lot and they take trees down that they cannot reincorporate into their new plan, instead of losing all that greenery, this imposes a fee of $150 a tree that we can put into a fund to replace trees throughout the borough. Anyone have any questions on this ordinance? Yes, you come up and just need your name and address for the record.
Andrew Zaborny, 22 Kane Avenue. This is, I have a tree in front of my house that's maple, only about a year and a half old. I'm serious. Could we donate that to the town at all? Is there any ruling against that, or
No, but
is
it
there
depends.
possible?
It could be a lot of work to dig it out, depending on the caliper size of...
It's small, I could do it myself, but if there's a possibility, I'd like to donate a tree to the town for this,
Sure.
if
you
any
can
way we can.
Talk to the business administrator. She can talk to John Mayer, our head of the department head for streets and roads, and maybe they have a spot they can put it.
Fantastic.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
I'm going to leave the meeting, but I want to thank everybody once again for the opportunity this evening.
And I want to thank you for coming out as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions on this ordinance?
Make a motion to close to the public.
Second.
Councilman President Stolen?
Yes.
Councilman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Councilman Service?
Yes.
I make a motion that we pass this ordinance on second reading and publish it according to law.
Second.
Council President Stolen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Councilman Service?
Yes.
We have resolutions under the consent agenda. Copies of the resolutions are on the table. Usually they're for perusal only, but if you'd like to take a copy, you may. Council President, council members, I'll take a motion to adopt the resolutions on the consent agenda 2015-99 through 2015-104.
Make a motion, we move the resolutions.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Proclamation, Mr. Mayor, did you want to read that, or would you like Orange to read it, or?
Ed, if you want, you went to the
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you. On behalf of the mayor, I did attend this function. It was nice. It was a good evening. Another Eagle Scout out of New Jersey, out of Spotswood, New Jersey. Seems like I'm going to them almost monthly,
Wonderful.
almost now.
which is really good. And I'll briefly read this. Whereas William Chudzinski is a resident member of the Boy Scout Troop 35, which is based out of the Knights of Columbus in Spotswood, and whereas William Chudzinski has dedicated himself to the goal of attaining the prestigious Boy Scouts of America award known as the Eagle Scout Award, and whereas this award is the highest honor that can be bestowed on an individual by the Boy Scouts of America, and whereas William Chudzinski is to be commended for a project that he led to benefit the Spotswood Polish American Citizens Club, in which he organized Boy Scouts and adult leaders to construct 3 picnic tables for the outdoor picnic grove on the Polish Club grounds. William oversaw the creation of 4 benches, which were placed around the horseshoe pits in order to give club members and guests a place to sit during charity games that the club hosts. William was responsible for overseeing the construction of the picnic tables and managed the cleanup crew working to beautify the Polish Club. And whereas William Chudzinski has earned the respect and admiration of the Boy Scouts throughout New Jersey for his sense of commitment, perseverance, and willingness to strive for excellence. And whereas William Chudzinski is being honored and is receiving his award at an Eagle Scout Court of Honor recognition dinner on Tuesday, June 2nd, 2015, at the Spotswood Polish American Club. Now therefore, I, Nicholas Policino, Mayor of Spotswood, on behalf of the entire governing body, do commend William Chudzinski on the significant occasion of achieving the rank of Eagle Scout. We wish him much luck and success in all of his future endeavors. Dated June 2nd, 2015, signed Mayor Nicholas Policino. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you, Ed, for going.
Anytime.
We are blessed to have them in the community.
Yes, we are.
We have an application for a member, someone that would like to join our fire department, James R. Caffrey.
Let's move that application.
Is he here? No?
No?
Okay, we're
We
thankful.
wish him the best of luck. Thank you for joining.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Comments? Ted?
Couple things. Want to address to Dawn. One of the concerns that Rec brought to my attention was some of the fees that are coming into, for things that they do, going into the general fund. And they question whether some of that money can be released back to them so that they can do things and not have to either shortchange them or shortcut them. And that's what I wanted to find out. Is there a way that if they're bringing in, I understand that they're given X number of dollars in their budget, but if they're bringing in $5,000 for a particular function and they could use $2,000 extra for that function or some other function, is there a way to release some of that money that they're bringing in back to Rec? Or is there something that prohibits that? Because their budget is their budget and that's all there is.
I actually met with Rich O'Brien and our CFO last night to discuss that. And actually, the amount budgeted versus the revenue for the program, it does not equal. Last year, the revenue was about $30,000, and I believe the budget was about $43,000. They spent about $37,000. If mayor and council would like to provide more, they can do so in the way of the budget process.
But there's no way to return some of the money that's coming in?
That would be done in the budget process. The budget is the budget. You can't return revenue mid-year.
So mid-year, you can't give them an allocation or reallocate some of their money to them?
No, not mid-year. You do have a way of doing that in November. If they are running short, you could do line item transfers. You've all seen those resolutions in November.
Okay.
So it's up to your discretion, basically.
The other thing I wanted to talk about was perhaps looking into, see if there's any interest in it, maybe a shared service agreement with Monroe Township allowing us to use their rec center, if they would be open to that, giving people an opportunity to maybe go there at because it's sponsored, you can't join there, but perhaps under some type of an agreement, they may allow to have spots where people will go there and use their facilities.
I can approach the business administrator and see if they may be receptive to it. Sure.
You're talking the one on Monmouth Road?
On Monmouth Road.
Yeah.
Because they've got a great ice skating rink there.
Yeah.
We got the basketball.
They got basketball, they've got all kinds of
Got the skate
programs
park.
there, especially come winter time, so we don't have to deal with Michael Road again with trying to, maintain that rink, which as soon as it melts, well, we all know what the problem was this year, or last year with it.
Every time it snows, too.
Yeah, but if there's some way to work that out with either Old Bridge, or, more likely Monroe, because I think that's an
Closer.
easy one for everybody, because it's right down Monmouth Road. So, we can look into something like that, it's got to be a tremendous thing to do.
Did it?
That's it.
Okay. Ed? Parade. I'd like to thank everybody for their involvement in the parade this year. I'd like to extend a special thanks to the EMS, the fire department, and the Spotswood Police Department for keeping a safe and good event. I won't touch on the tail end because that would probably be for you, Mr. Mayor. Tail end of the parade, as well as, let me ask you, are you going to touch on the USDA?
Go ahead, you can bring it up.
I spoke to Dawn the other day, and she tells me our application for our USDA grant is now in the mail.
Great.
And
Good news.
our Jerry Stankiewicz, our auditor, seems to think we have a very good chance and a good-sized part of it.
That would be great.
That'd be great for us.
And let's see, what else? What else? And as you saw, the Boy Scout event, another good event. It was a good kid. I was surprised how many members of that family are actually Eagle Scouts. I think there's only one who isn't out of 7. What else? One more thing. I'm in touch with a Mr. Weiss, as I spoke to the fire department at their last meeting about a traffic signal, solar-powered traffic signal. I'm in the process of getting quotes for that, to see if somehow we could work that into our budget. Because safety is a big issue, because I know since we have put the signs up there, and again, I spoke to the business administrator about this, and she told me our law enforcement officers have been issuing summonses for people who care to block that entrance. If you're one of them people, I'm sorry, but we're trying to get the point that if your house burning, you really don't want to block that fire truck from getting out. And that's pretty much it for me.
Thank you, Ed.
Can I go back for a
Yes.
second? For people here, when you go home tonight, get on Facebook and keep voting. We're down to 39.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Everybody's
It's all
here.
right.
I figured it was.
Keep going on,
I was going back
checking.
to a rec, looking
Yeah.
at it as rec. We're down to 39 right now. We need the votes.
We
if you
gotta
haven't
get
voted
votes.
yet.
And Ed, I want to thank you for all the work you did for the parade. That parade is on your shoulders, and you make it happen every year. And thank you for what you do for that.
Well, after my plead for help last year, I got a lot of hands
Well,
stretched out
that's
to
good.
me. And
That's
it
good.
worked out well. Next year, it's going to be even bigger. I've got some people on board now that have got some good ideas, and we're going to let it grow.
Well, thank goodness for your energy. And also, thank you, you were instrumental in finding the USDA grant, and I want to thank you for that as well.
You're welcome.
Yep. From my point of view, I want to congratulate Leo, to have him up on the dais. I've sat with him many years on the planning board. I don't know, he's a great person who has great care for the community. He's done a lot for the community over the years, and he was instrumental in taking the EMS from a volunteer group that was fading fast, because it's very difficult to get volunteers to do such a time-intensive project. And he was instrumental in changing that over to a paid service where we had tremendous and continue to have tremendous response times. So I want to congratulate Leo. I look forward to serving with you.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
And I also would like to congratulate Leo. Like I said before, it's tough to run, and it's tough to put yourself out there. But I'm going to say, as you saw by my vote, we don't have to rubber stamp things. We can think and vote independently and still work together well. That's the part of teamwork that you go with when you have a shared government and you have a council that goes by majority. So, Leo, I would just say vote with your heart and your head, and as you represent the citizens,
Right.
I know you will do that, because I too have worked with you many years in your role as EMS director, and I welcome you to the council, and I am here for any questions, as well as the rest of us. We will help to mentor you and anything at all. So thanks for coming out. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marge. Mr. Mayor.
Sure, Council President, thank you. Just want to welcome Leo as well to the dais. I'm sure we're going to have, it's good to have a new face here, to a new way of thinking, and let's see how we can get some stuff done around here. Memorial Day Parade, Councilman Sealy did a great job on getting that all planned out.
I agree.
Just wanted to bring up, for those of you who were not there, during the middle of it, the Spotswood Fire Department last year lost their first firefighter in a line of death duty. So what we did was, when the fire department came to pass the firehouse at Main Street, they stopped at the grandstand, and we we dedicated Main Street as Joseph Bove Way. His family was very happy, and I think it was a great thing to do for Joe and his family. On that note, the Fire Department Ladies Auxiliary is going to be sponsoring it's called the Fire Run, a 5K fire run. It's very similar to the Color Run that I'm sure many of you know about. They are looking to have it on July 18th. Already spoken with the Chief of Police, got that all squared away. So you should see some stuff going up around town for that. And they are dedicating that to Joe Bove. Spotswood Girl Scout Troop 80378 is working to earn their bronze award. They chose Formula for Hope, and they are collecting donations in all of the public schools, Immaculate Conception, and the Spotswood Public Library. Next week, we have the Carnival coming to town at Immaculate, Tuesday, June 9th through Saturday. Fireworks will be Saturday night, roughly 9:30, 10 o'clock range.
I'm glad we got all the rain out of the way the past couple days.
I hope it's dry next week.
Oh, I did too.
And that's all I have for now, Council President. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Dawn?
Just to add what Ted said, I know I've been plugging this away and basically beating a dead horse. Today's the last day for the State Farm Neighborhood Assist Grant. Thank you to everyone who's been voting all along. If you haven't voted, please go home and vote. I'm probably going to spend the next 3 hours when I go home creating Facebooks for my dogs and voting for them. Let's go home, create as many Facebooks as I can in 3 hours and see what we could do. I want to thank Donna Falkenberry and Rich O'Brien, representatives of our rec committee, who have worked tirelessly to promote this grant. If you've been watching the rec Facebook, Donna has gotten really creative, and she's done an awesome job, and thank you so much. Hopefully, the results will be good. You're going to do one more? We will repost it, definitely. Second of all, I want to bring council's attention to the fact that we have 22 vacant properties in town right now with a history of maintenance issues. It's a huge issue in the spring. As soon as the weather gets warm, the grass starts growing. All of these problems surface. Most are being cared for by property management companies, but there are a couple that have been posted for violation of high grass and weeds. Most likely, we're going to need to step in and maintain 2 properties as of right now, and you will see a resolution to place a lien on the property for the cost of the expenses to maintain those properties. Bruce already touched upon the structural engineering evaluation for EMS and the George Street water treatment plant, so I'm going to skip over those items on my report. Last but not least, we had the Emergency Services Breakfast at Office on Aging on May 19th. It was a huge success. The seniors were very happy. I want to thank all of our emergency services staff for their hard work. Some of them are here. We have Miriam, we have Patrolman DeRozier, we have the fire department, Jose Rivera and Pete Genthi. They were all there serving, and I want to thank them and everybody else that was there. It was a great event. That's it. You're welcome.
Can I ask what 2 properties? Street location?
Michael Road and Dora Avenue.
Okay, Michael Road, I heard quite a few earfuls about, as well as I've seen it myself, too, so.
If there's no action on Michael Road by Friday morning, we will have the landscaper there
Okay.
Friday, before the weekend.
Good.
Is that the vacant piece on the bend there, or is that a different piece?
No, it's-
Up by...
It's the second house in,
By Burlington, on the second house on the right.
yeah.
Okay.
But we're required to notify the homeowner and the bank and give them a certain period of time to abate the situation before we're allowed to step in and go in. I know it's frustrating, but we do have to follow that.
as long as we're doing it.
We are.
This is very telling of the times that we are in. I mean, all you hear is the stock market soaring and the economy's doing great, but it is not doing great in New Jersey, and our communities are really struggling to make ends meet. There's lots to do, there's little money to do it with. The state sets rules that cost us more money to get anything done, and it is, as Leo will see, it is a very frustrating part of our job. But this is an omen of what we're dealing with, people not being able to stay in their homes. It's very difficult. Pat, do you have anything else? Anything for?
Now, Saturday from 1 to 4, also along with Woodstock, is the free rabies clinic for your animals. Come out if you need a shot.
Boy, I'm glad I asked. Thank you, Pat. If nothing else, we open to the public.
Motion to open to the public.
The second motion.
All in favor?
Aye. General open public portion, any comments or questions? We welcome you to come up to the dais. Just state your name and address for the minutes and the record.
Wow, for a second there, I got scared. All these people, nobody walking up.
Donna Falconberry, 467 Adirondack Avenue.
Good evening, Donna.
It got mentioned briefly, but I wanted to elaborate just a little bit. Woodstock this weekend, June 5th, Friday night, 7 o'clock movie night at the high school in the cafeteria. For the movie is Turbo, it's DreamWorks Turbo. And then the following day, the big event is the outdoor concert in conjunction with the car show. It starts at 2, totally free. Everything's free except unless you want to buy food, and it's great entertainment. It's for the town. It's for the town to kick off the summer. We really hope that you will all join us. It's going to be it should be a nice day, and it'll be a great event.
Thank you. Thank you for all you do, and looks like you're going to have great weather.
Sure hope so.
Knock on wood.
Good evening.
Hi, my name is Miriam Barbarese. I'm the director of Spotswood EMS. Just have a statement to say
Sure.
for my staff here. We have been homeless now for 3 years, over 3 years. During Hurricane Sandy, we were left in the dark for 3 days. Nobody ever came out to see if we needed anything. We actually got some help from the senior community. We appreciate them very much. They donated a generator, and we were able to get some light and get something warmed up. During all that time, I have a dedicated staff who, no matter what, is always there to answer the call. We are living in a building right now that is, I guess, suitable for the rats that like to come in every so often, including the bats. But we still get the job done. I have a dedicated staff who comes in under the working conditions. They still show up, they still do the job. I invite the council to come down and visit us and see what we do. If you want to come on a ride-along, you're welcome to come on a ride-along. I want you to see what we do with the little resources that we have. And I know that you're out looking for bids to outsource EMS, and there's got to be another way. We can't take something as a vital service that we perform for this community. You cannot take it away from the community without consequences. It's going to impact the residents in a negative way. Response times are going to increase. They're going to get hard billed, whether you want to admit that or not. Our policemen have other work to do. They don't need to sit on scene waiting for an ambulance, waiting for a longer period of time, waiting for an ambulance. Doesn't matter what company you bring in, they're still going to have one call or another call come into town, and they're still going to send another truck from outside of town, which means the resident is going to be waiting longer, and so will PD, and they don't need to be sitting there doing our job. My staff, I know there are a lot of negative comments on Facebook going around. My staff isn't properly trained. Yes, they are. They wouldn't be working if they were not. I hire a good staff, I make sure they have the experience, and I know that I send them out personally to learn the roads. For those that don't live in town, they're out there driving, learning the area. So the comments that are being thrown around are not factual. On top of that, we answer more calls in Spotswood than we do in any other surrounding area. I know that comment was thrown around. That is also not fact. We don't go into East Brunswick as much as we do in our own town. Our town is more important to us than any other town, but we are there to assist them when they need us, and we go and we help them also. I wrote a lot of stuff down. I'm not a very good public speaker,
You're doing
and that's
fine.
not, this is not what I do. Like I said, I invite the council to come down and visit us, see what we do, take a ride with us, you'll like it. We also do a lot of work in the community. We appreciate our seniors as much as they appreciate us. We did the senior breakfast. I actually had a good time. It was fun. They enjoyed it, and so did my staff that was there, along with police and fire. We have a lot of other activities planned in the near future. We have, I was called by the library today. They also want us to come do some reading for the children, which I will be doing personally, and I will get my staff involved whether they like it or not. So learn to read. My people are committed. They know this town. They know a lot of the residents. A lot of the residents know them by first name. We have a lot of regulars that call us and rely on us for their assistance, whether it's just to help them back into bed or turn the light off or shut the back door and let the cat out or whatever. We do it because we do it. It's our job to help the residents, and that's what we're here for. To see this take it away from them, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking because I haven't been given a chance to show you what I can do for this department. And I have a lot of plans for this department. I want to take it in a positive direction. You know, we have a lot of training going on. We have a lot of things going on, a lot of things planned for the future. And I want to be given that chance to show you that it can be done. And I can cut costs because I know, well, I don't balance the checkbook very well, but I know where the cost, and I know how to take care of that. What else? Okay. Like I said, I have a lot of support. My staff supports me and they respect me, and I want them to know that I'm here for them, and I really do not want to see this get disbanded. We mean a lot to this community, and we mean a lot to the people that came in to support, and I just want you guys to think of another way to keep it here where it belongs. And I know, Leo, you started this, and I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it get destroyed. I want to keep going. I want to keep doing what you started. I never looked for this job. I did not look for this position, but I have the opportunity to do something positive, and I want to do something positive. So come down and visit us. Take a ride in the back of an ambulance. See what we do before you make that decision. We don't ask for much, and we haven't been given much, so we're working with what we have. So give us a chance to do our job.
Maria, I appreciate your passion. I appreciate the passion of all the people that stick with Spotswood and continue to serve. It is going to be a difficult decision. We have big changes coming up. We don't know which way we're going yet, but it has to be looked at. We have to have options. You know, you see 22 homes empty, and we see what our budget looks like, and we see the amount that EMS is costing us and could escalate dramatically in the future.
It's going to get worse if you bring another service in.
Well, we just have to look at those options. We can't, it would not be doing the public a favor if we did not look at every option to make sure the decision we make is the right one.
And once you bring in an outside service, those costs are going to go up every year. Once your contract is up with them, they're going to want more money, and they're going to find a way to get it, and that's going to be hard billing residents.
Well,
They're going to find a way.
Believe me, we would like to keep the first aid squad as well, and we are going to try to do that. But we do have to look at every number and see where it's going. I mean, here, you look at the Affordable Care Act, how it just turned the whole world of healthcare upside down, and so many of the points that it tried to make things good, for us here, it's making things worse. And it's very difficult to try to keep the services we have with the fees and charges that are now going to accrue with those changes. So, believe me, we love your passion. We love having you and the EMTs here, and we are going to do and look at this very carefully. I think one of the reasons Leo is sitting here, because a lot of people realize this is one of the most important issues we're facing. And I know Leo has that expertise, so we're going to look at it very carefully.
We are a vital service to this town, and I want to keep it here.
Thank you.
Miriam, thank you for your professionalism.
Ariel? Can you tell us a little bit about your staffing for your given shifts?
Sure. We staff 2 EMTs for each ambulance. We usually only have 1 ambulance per shift. We run 6 to 2, 2 to 10, and a 10 to 6. On most of those shifts, we also have a supervisor. During the day, I'm in Monday through Friday from about 7:30 in the morning to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I come in full uniform, so if I have a supervisor on, I go on the ambulance with that supervisor and take a second call if it's needed. I was told to keep the schedule under control, and that's what I did. Overtime is non-existent right now. I'm trying to keep that schedule under control. With the people that I have now, and if I think I'm hiring another 2 or 3 more people, I have enough staff to cover every shift, including supervisors if it's needed. But I'm there every day, and I will come in, and I do come in, and know I'm salaried, and I do more than I'm allowed to do, but I still do. And I will jump on the truck if I have to, and I have done it.
If an ambulance leaves town now to go to the hospital, who's left in town at that point?
I am.
Just you?
I'm in town, and if I have a supervisor, then we still have another crew available.
So the 2 of you make up a crew?
I have people that live in town. I have people that live within 5 minutes of the town, and they have a radio. So if a second truck is needed, we call them out. I usually go down the phone list if I have to. We normally will get a second truck out if it's needed. If we can't, then it goes mutual aid to another town. But we get our calls out, the initial calls that come out, and we don't get a lot of calls back to back. But we do have, we're doing the best we can. If we get 2 calls and there's nobody in town, then of course it has to go mutual aid because we don't want someone waiting for an ambulance for too long.
And I wish I could apologize, and my apology meant something for what you read in social media. It's a sad state of affairs with what people can just state on the internet, and
They need to get their facts straight.
I know, and if you could just look the other way, sometimes it's best not to even read it. There's just so much out there that isn't true.
I enjoyed reading it because I got a giggle out of the non-facts, but there was a lot of support out there from the community too, and I appreciated that.
Very good.
And we appreciate you.
Thank you.
To
Thank
go
you.
on that again with the Facebook, I'm not a Facebook person. Anybody in here that knows me knows that because they wished me a birthday a week ago. I haven't answered them yet. But I've never.
You're not voting?
I do that.
Uh-oh, see?
I'm calling it off. I'm doing that,
means
believe
he's
I
not
get beef every
voting.
day about that. But I go on actually the Sponsored Borough website and click on the box. I do it the easy way. At any rate, I want to let you know that I have never had anybody ever come up and complain about our response time, about our personnel, about their professionalism, never. I've never heard that. I don't know that anybody in this diocese has ever heard that. And that's not the question here whatsoever. As well as the question about how many people are in town to respond, that's not the question either. It's really monetary, basically monetary. But like Kurt said, we have to search the avenue. That doesn't mean we're going that way. We may find exactly what you're telling us is true, and then we're going to have to find a way to bite the bullet. That's just the way it goes. But believe me when I tell you, we have nothing but the highest regard for you, your staff, and everyone involved.
And you say to ride with you. I mean, I think most of us, if we haven't used EMS themselves, our neighbor has, and have been there when you responded. And to have someone come in just a matter of minutes when there's an emergency, I mean, minutes seem like hours. And knowing that you're there and you get there fast, it makes all the difference.
Believe me, we're weighing everything. This is not an easy decision. And if we really thought it was that cut and dry, do you really think we'd be thinking about fixing the building?
We're still waiting.
Oh, we're working on that. We're further now than we've ever been.
If only it were easy. I mean, you still see people at the shore with how, you hear all these horror stories, how long it takes to rebuild, and we've had so many issues where, you know, in the immediacy of after it happened, FEMA was giving us conflicting information, so we couldn't act. Then we have the building that we're getting conflicting information on. It's something now that we're determined with the administration, this is going to get done. It's going to get done as fast as we reasonably can, and we're going to find a way to get that building fixed.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating. I'll admit it. It's frustrating sitting in a warehouse and waiting
Absolutely.
almost 4 years now. I know a lot of people that were affected by Sandy already in their homes, or whatever emergency service building was destroyed. They were already back home. Why aren't we? What's taking so long?
Well, I mean, we had the building, we had a discussion whether to rebuild it or not. Then we heard that Schweitzer's might give us some land. That delayed us a year, hoping that they would give us land. And seeing that that's going to have an endless amount of time left to wait, we have to step up and we have to do something with that building. So there's been delays, there's no doubt about it, but we've been trying to spend the money prudently, and we're trying not to delay it either. But between insurance, FEMA, the building issues, it has been a delay.
Okay.
And you are a
We'll
great
just keep
public
waiting.
speaker.
Yes, you did a great
Excuse me?
You are a great public speaker. You were very good, very eloquent.
I'm sure there's a lot of things I left out, but I'll bring that up another
You
time.
got the point across.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Chad Lockman. I'm the Chief of Police of Helmetta. I just want to say I'm here to support Sponsored EMS. I worked hard with Leo back when you guys became a paid service to get them into Helmetta, and they've been providing an excellent service ever since they've been here. They've pulled me out of a car before, and and they do a heck of a job. So I know it's a hard financial time for us all. I know I try to do budgets now, and it's a difficult position to be in. But just got to be mindful for your citizens that the people that are involved in local organizations offer more than just their services while they're on duty. They offer a lot more. They're here to help the community. They're here to be part of the community. So I know money's the biggest thing, but if it comes close, I always got to go with the home team. It's the right thing to do to support your local people, and I just hope that you take that into consideration.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you for coming over to our community tonight.
I'm so impressed that you came here tonight. This is the first time I'm seeing a Helmetta public official here, so thank you so much.
And congratulations on your position.
Thank you very much.
Your appointment. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hi, I'm Yvette Bruno. I'm councilwoman in Helmetta. And I'm also coming here to second what the two previous said. I'm all for emergency services, police, fire, EMS. I know you're exploring contracts. I'm a real estate agent. You need to check, okay? Contracts, that's important. Bait, switch, that kind of thing. They're going to tell you it's cheap. Next year, may go up, whatever. I think you're making a wrong decision. That's my opinion.
Well, the decision's not made yet.
Right, well,
The decision to explore every avenue is made.
Right.
But the decision which way to go is not made yet.
I do have another question, though. Being that I am on council and we have an interlocal agreement, I'd like to know why we weren't notified that you guys were even exploring this possibility.
No?
To me, that kind of sounds like, politics back home
I mean,
in Helmetta.
you would be informed.
I mean,
You would be informed when we make a decision, before we make a decision, but
just a courtesy?
Just
You know.
looking at the avenues, I mean, this takes a while to pan out, just looking at the avenues of where we may have to go, and then you would be brought in with that. There's no doubt about that.
Get that,
We have
but
to,
I think courtesy would have been a nice thing. Just my opinion.
okay,
So, thank you.
thank you. Thanks for coming out tonight.
Dean Sliker, 68 Alcott.
I'm sorry, could you say your name again?
Dean Sliker.
Dean? Thank you, Dean.
68 Alcott. I'm here to support EMS. I just have a suggestion. They serve the people. To them, we're people. To an outside contractor, we're a profit. Our taxes are going to go up no matter which way we go. Like it or not, that's what life's all about now. It's about the budgets. If you want to keep things going, regardless of whether people like it or not, your taxes are going to increase. I personally would rather see my taxes go up and keep the service we have now than see my taxes go up and have somebody that I've never seen before come into my home and know that they're coming in, okay, we're getting this guy in the ambulance and getting his butt over to the hospital because we got to make more money and go get somebody else. See, these guys don't do that. They stay at your house as long as they have to. They work with you. They get you ready for transport. If you don't feel comfortable transporting right away, they stay. The police department will too. You're not going to get that if you hire out. And again, I understand it with the budgets and everything, but my suggestion is they're here for the people. So we have elections for all kinds of crap in this country. Why can't we have an election and let the people decide if they want to keep them or not and decide if they want to take the increase? My gut tells me I am 100% positive our community would say keep them and pay the higher taxes, regardless of how much it goes up. Because it's going to go up even more if we go outside eventually. Even if we, like the woman said, even if we get a little bit cheaper the first year. We're under contract, and contracts, to me, contracts don't mean anything other than you're obligated to pay somebody X amount of dollars. When that contract runs out, if you want to renew, you're going to give us a little bit more. That's the world of business. You know, I was a machinist for 25 years, and I watched the business world eat people, small businesses alive like that. So I just wanted you guys to, you know, I know that you're not making a decision now, but maybe take a suggestion and give it some thought into allowing an election to take place and let the people decide if they want to keep them and if they're willing to pay the higher taxes. What do they want in return for the higher taxes? The people that we have now or a private contractor that they don't know anything about?
So many towns are facing this issue with EMS. East Brunswick still hasn't been able to solve their problem, and they're a very large community. Everybody's facing it, and we just have to get some, we are seeing some very large numbers for next year, and we at least have to have our options to see where we want to go. Once we're done, you know, if it's close, I think that's an easy decision. But if it's not close, we have to have every option available. So, you know, we're looking out for you. We will not accept lengthy response times. The response times have to remain what they are, but we have to look at these choices, and we're not making a decision.
I understand that. I just ask you to just take into consideration, give it to the people and let them speak, because I can tell you right now, I think everybody here, everybody in this community would tell you the same thing. Keep these guys. I would rather pay more money and see them stay than pay more money. I lived in East Brunswick. I've been in Spotswood 10 years. I was born and raised here. But unfortunately, I made the mistake of leaving, and here I am back.
You came back.
We all come back.
Well, thank you.
When I was in East Brunswick, a private ambulance had to come and pick me up. I was just a number. They came in, threw me on a stretcher, took my vitals. Okay, what's your problem? I told them, get them out. These guys came to my house in Spotswood. My wife blew her knee out. She was scared to death. They took a good 10 minutes talking to her, calming her down, getting her legs secure, and saying, look, everything's going to be okay. By the time she left the house, she couldn't wait to get in the damn ambulance.
Now, most of us have seen
in service.
We've seen them in action. There's no doubt about it.
The difference in service between a private contractor and community members, it's just phenomenal.
Well, stay tuned, because there will be a lot more discussion, and as I say, we have to get these numbers to at least be able to make an informed decision.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, Council. My name is John Denay. I'm the Chief of the Helmetta Fire Department.
Welcome.
And we're here to, for the EMS. You guys brought up that you are still currently looking at repairing the EMS building. That's nice and all, but the question still comes up that if you hire an outside contractor, you still have to house them there. So trying to calm their nerves by saying that isn't necessarily always the great way.
I wasn't trying to calm their nerves.
Just saying, sir, with all due respect. We've worked with EMS for, I don't know how many years now. We know these guys hand in hand. I know that every time we get a call, they're there, whether we need them or not. Day and night, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. These guys are here. I rely on these EMS as much as you guys rely on the police and fire. This is what they're here for. This is what they do. They're here to save our lives like we're here to save the lives of you guys if you have a fire. We need EMS, and it's nice to have people that come here, that we work with, that we train with. And that's what I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
How you doing? Joe Bassano, 109 Burlington. Figure I'll keep the record going with the EMS here tonight, since it seems to be the popular topic. I've been a fireman in this town, East Brunswick, for 10 years. I was fortunate enough to work here in this town as an EMT. It's where I started. I'm still a part-time EMT over in Monroe. I'm also a career fireman. I've worked in basically every county there is doing EMS and fire, and I can tell you the private system does not work. You get what you pay for. Big companies, you're just a number, and the employees treat themselves as a number and don't conduct themselves with a professional manner that these men and women behind me do. You'll get people that don't dress properly, uniform shirts hanging out, boots untucked, just sloppy. Not the kind of person you want to welcome into your home when it's one of your most frightening times. Also, people don't know the area, especially with a big conglomerate like Robert Wood, who seems to be have the monopoly on EMS in the county. You can get someone who started in the Somerset system that they bought out and thought Spotswood was next to the Helmeta International Airport until last week. So obviously that's a big concern of mine. And in a small town, you have more pride when you work there. I know from working there, Leo was my boss for many years when I was there, and it wasn't just a patient or a call. It was my neighbor or my neighbor's father or somebody else's father that I knew, and it all came together, and you cared a lot about people. I remember several times there'd be a car accident where somebody's car broke down, and we brought them home in the ambulance because they live in the town. It's not my ambulance. They pay taxes. It's theirs. So I gave them a ride. Robert Wood ain't going to give anybody a ride. And the other problem is mutual aid. As Miriam had mentioned, that in cases you can't account for all situations, and sometimes another town has to come in to help us out. It doesn't matter how big of a system you are, how many rigs you have on, you can't account for all situations. But the way mutual aid works is you got to have some skin in the game. If you have a contract with a Robert Wood ambulance or a Monarch ambulance or whoever you have a contract with, they might not provide that mutual aid. Because if you call for a mutual aid to another town, they expect the same favor in return. And that doesn't always happen with these private companies. I've seen it many times. But the most important thing is there is no money in EMS. I keep hearing monetary is the issue. You will never make money in EMS in any system. You will always lose money. But that is not what we're here for. EMS is about the patient and providing a service to the township. And you're not going to get the same treatment as you would with township residents and a township-run organization that you would with a private contractor. Thank you.
Thank you for your concern.
You talk longer than I do, right? And move slower.
Hello,
Jackie Palmer, 9 Shippen
Hello,
Street.
Frank.
There was a lot of discussion about the EMS building. I have a question. Is the intention to renovate the EMS building before or after your decision to make EMS private or our service?
We are going full scale, get the building repaired and up and running.
So if you choose, after we get that building up and running, and we use the FEMA money to do that, we're going to utilize that money for our taxpayers to now have to pay a service to be housed there?
If a service were housed there, it would be part of the contract where that would they would either be charged to be there, or it would reduce the rates for them to be there and use it. Or-
I just want to make sure that we're thinking about all of these issues, and especially with a paid service, right? My husband is a policeman, a fireman. I am friends and family members of all of these people who sit in this room. I think you all know that very clearly. Normally, I don't get up and talk because you know I have a fear of doing that sometimes there's repercussions for things that I say out loud to my family. But I will tell you that with a paid service, this EMS team, when there's a fire, they're out there doing triage. You got to make sure that that's going to be in your contract. And there's a lot of paid services who won't do that. Maybe they'll come out and do EMS if you have somebody, EMT services because they have to be there, but they're not going to do the triage that our firemen need during a fire. And you know what? All these people here that give of their time, and in all reality, we are probably one of the lowest paid.
Yes.
Right? The lowest paid. And for these people to stand here and be paid the peanuts that we pay them to do the job that they do and go above and beyond, we shouldn't even be looking. We should be figuring out how to fix what we have, not looking outside of this organization.
As you can see, the people, like Jackie, I mean, you were mentioning things. This is very complex, and that's why it takes time, and we have to take time and weigh all these issues, and there's a lot to consider, and that's why at least we have to start and get the information.
Consider this first. Then if that does not work, then you turn around and you say, you know what, we've exhausted everything that we can do, and you haven't done that yet. You have not given Miriam the chance. You have not fixed the problems that you have here or figured out how to do it. You think the big fix is to go out and say, well, let me see what everybody else can do if we can save a buck here and there. No, this is about the tax dollars we pay.
Okay.
This is what we pay here. And we pay for this service. And we don't pay them enough, quite frankly.
Okay. Yes, Frank.
Frank Ardation, 41 Kane Avenue. I'm going to get off the EMS thing, but you said how complex. I think you're making it complex. All right, you don't have to make it so complex. We understand, and I hope you get the message here tonight. All right, yeah, you talk about monetary, money. Unfortunately, in our day, our culture today, that's important, but you got to sometimes choose between life and death and money and taxes. Okay, I'll take the life and death. I'll pay the taxes. And most of these people say the same thing. So set your priorities first, all right? Just let me get off the EMS. I was a little disappointed when we opened a meeting to the candidates. I thought it was very rude to send out the candidates outside of the building and not here. They're public like we are. They have a right to sit in here and listen to what the other candidates have to say. Why did you just send them out of the room?
Every election of candidates it's more fair that they all hear the questions the first time and not have time to prepare. Otherwise, it's not fair for the first person or the second, and it's not fair to the last. It's only fair if they each hear the question first, unknown what they are.
That's your opinion. I think
it's been done that way ever since I've been here, and it seems the fairest way to do it.
Well, I would give them the benefit of the doubt. Let them sit in here and know what the competition is, and there's public citizens. Everybody else is here. Why shouldn't they be in here and listen? You can't have it both ways all the time. I understand what you're saying. There's two sides to the story, but I think there's willing to come in here and speak. Let them hear what the other people have to say. Maybe they'll learn something. Maybe we'll all learn something. All right, thank you.
Okay, Frank, thanks. Okay, and we've had some passionate discussion about EMS, and it's just as we provide important services such as police and we provide EMS, the fact is keeping what we have now is going to completely change at the end of this year, completely change. And we have to, in order to be stewards for the taxpayers of this town, we have to look at how we can provide this service at the best way we can for the least amount of money we can. If we don't do that, we're derelict in our duties. So we are going to explore the options, we're going to weigh them and consider them, but we can't do it if we just ignore what's coming up and don't look at what our choices are. So We know your passion. Believe me, we share it. If things could stay the way they are, we wouldn't even be fine then, but things are going to get so bad financially that it has to be explored, and that's what we're going to do. Anyone else have anything before we close the public portion? Make a motion?
Make a motion, we close, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Make a motion, we close the public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Any motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you all for coming out tonight.